Oh, just living, bro. We're just out
Right.
here.
Just out here.
Just we been out here. We're still
Oh
out
yeah.
here, still alive. Good morning, chat. Good morning, all the peoples who are down with the American Cane Corso, the American Corso. You know what we're saying?
Yup. Yup.
All right, what we
Yup.
got coming down the pipe today?
Guess we're gonna run down the story of how the Rottweiler got put back into the dogs in such a heavy dose, and why 90% of the dogs from certain kennels today have all that Rottweiler influence in them.
Yeah, that is. I feel like we touched on this when we first started. When we first started talking, like when we first got in with each other, and we're kind of discussing the dogs, and we were running down phenotypes, and it was easy to break down the Neapolitan Mastiff phenotypes. But I think we ran into some places where, like, where are these traits coming from? And I'm not talking colors or anything like that. I'm talking specific features in the head, the muzzle, the eyes, the
Hmm.
skull, the ears, and kind of all realize it all made sense because it all looks like
Yeah.
old Rottweiler traits.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, where you want to start, man?
I guess we'll start from the beginning.
David, I'm
What's
getting
up,
no
Jace?
sound from you, eh?
You ain't got no sound?
Yeah, speak again.
You hear me?
Yeah, it's super low. I don't know if that's because your headphones
Hold on, let me
or
try
what's
something.
going on.
1 second.
Yeah, it's coming out super low. I can't even hear you.
All right, what about now? What about now?
Still nothing. What about chat? Jace, Zach, what do you guys hear? Are you getting clear volume from David? Oh no, this is. Say something again. Let me see if I pick that up.
You hear me? You hear me?
Yeah, bro, that's like super quiet, super muffled. I don't know if that's on my end. Sound
People in
in
the
here, so
chat
maybe
say
that's
people in the chat say they hear me, but that's good and bad. So you want me to? I can pull the headphones out and just go straight off the phone. We'll see if that does anything.
Yeah, let me try to do some quick tings right here. I can toss that up. Clear all this shit off. I don't know.
Buds in.
Out from my phone.
No shit. All right. Is it enough? Can you hear me enough to keep going, or you want me to try? You want to try something else?
Maybe cut it for like 2 minutes. Let me try to figure this out, or I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I got to leave the stream and come back in. Let me try that.
All right. All right. I think we're gonna have to drop this and fucking put it back up. I have a feeling because I don't think you can just enter back into the chat. There he is. All right, you hear it.
Oh yeah, it's like way better now. I don't know what was going on.
All right, bet.
All right, we're back. We're
We're
back in the
back.
live.
Technical
Back
fucking
again.
difficulties.
Hey yo, what's this content about? Let me tell you something, Rob's World. It's about those it's about those pointed dogs up in your genealogy in the American bred Cane Corsos.
All right, so I'm gonna get back on it. So we're gonna start with there was a guy out of the Poconos by the name of Rosario. I forget what his first name was. You remember what his first name was, Kareem?
No.
Yeah, I think we only ever really heard his last name. So there's this guy Rosario in the Poconos, Pennsylvania. He was a big Rottweiler breeder back in the day. So I guess somewhere down the line, it was the first one or two litters, either the Super Six litter or one of the the one or two litters that kind of came down the line after, there was a dog that not many people had seen, which was a dog named Justice. It was like a Formentino fawn colored dog. I'll show you a picture here of it as a pup so you can kind of follow me.
Yeah. Great looking dog though.
Yeah, that was a pup, young dog. So this guy, Rosario, got that dog off of the Satilis, or one of the people that had those first couple litters. He got that dog, but he never had another Corso female. He only bought that one male, what have you. So what ended up transpiring was Rosario took that male and started studying it to different Roddy bitches on his property. I don't know why. There's no real clarification on why he bred that dog to Roddy. Probably because he saw black and tan Corsos running around. Thought, oh shit, it's about the same. Looks about the same thing. So he crossed them up. Then what happened was like Rosario went to jail or died. It was one of the two. I've heard both stories, but either he went to jail or he died. His old lady was stuck with the dogs, so she was calling up people that she knew to try to get these dogs the hell out of there. So she called up Mike Jr. and Ed Hodis. So I guess what happened was like Mike or Ed or both of them went up there and bought these Corsos that were just F1, like Corso Rotties or whatever you want to call it, whatever that Justice was, bred to Rotties. So they bought those dogs, and I hate to say it, but they did some pretty slimy things. So I don't know. Do you want to add anything in on that, Cream, quick before I keep it going, or?
Yeah, I mean, I'll break it down to why I think somebody would do that. I think back then when you saw the Super 6 litter, I think people who were privy to the fact of Senior's kennel, which was his Neapolitan Mastiffs, I think when the Corsos popped on the scene, I mean, a lot of these guys who bought Neos from Senior, they also bred Rottweiler.
Yeah.
You know, if you have a certain breed of dog, which is a Rottweiler, and you're buying Neos, and you see something that comes out that looks like a Rottweiler crossed Neo, I mean, common sense would tell you that, like, oh, this dude's mixing dogs. So this is my breakdown of how I make this make sense to me. Is these people got the first base, they got that pure from Senior, and they got that to just get it on the books, to get it in the records. And I think they started either crossing in their own Rottweiler, their own Neo, or what have you. But a lot of these guys, you'll even hear in old interviews from Junior, a lot of these guys were Rottweiler breeders.
Yep.
Points were so prominent back then. The stag reds were so prominent.
What they say, a lot of those Roddy breeders thought the Corso was like a step up from the Rottweiler.
A step up from the Rottweiler. Think about the colors that were popping back then. The stag reds, the fawns, like the deeper red fawns that they had. All those colors were prominent back then. And when you take a picture of a good bred Rott and you stick it back up to one of those old school dogs, and you just pretend that there's no ears there on the Rott, it's the same phenotype in the face. Structure a little bit different because of the Neo and Pitbull, but I mean, the dogs are in there. So our American base is Neo, Rottweiler, Pitbull. The dogs were mixed on both sides of the pond, but we mess with the American line. So we're running it down. We're running down, telling you guys what we found out, telling you little tidbits of what we see.
Like we said, the Satilli dogs already had Rottweiler in them, but Senior was flooding the blood back with the Neo, so he was pushing the Rott out. Yeah. This is like the second shot of, or the second wave of Rott blood that was put in that kind of fucked up what was going on. But I'll continue. So Rosario's wife was trying to get these dogs sold. She called Mike and she called Ed. They came, they bought the dogs. So I don't know, I forget how many there were. It was said that there was about 5 or 6 of these Roddy Corso crosses. So Mike and Ed bought them, and then what happened was Mr. Eddie Hodis hung papers on those Corso Roddies. And for everybody that doesn't know, that's where Nugget came from. Nugget came from Rosario's yard. Nugget was out of Justice, bred to a Rottweiler, as well as quite a few other dogs. There was, like I said, 5 or 6 dogs that all came. But so Ed Hodis put his papers that he had on the at the time on these different Roddy Corso crosses. And then what happened to those dogs? Well, you know where Nugget went, and that's where the rest of them went. There was these 5 or 6 of these dogs that were, fresh Corso Roddy crosses. They went to Mr. Tony Scandi at Scandifio Kennels, and that's where that kind of transpired. That's why when you look back, all those dogs that Scandi had, like Nugget and all these other dogs, they have these specific Belmonte dogs behind them, but you'll notice how they never produced the same quality or the same look as the dogs that were coming off Belmonte's yard, let alone that Tony kept producing reds, fawns, pointed dogs, and who was the one that was preaching and crying the whole way through the 90s that the Corso had so much Rottweiler influence that we're trying to breed that out? That was mostly Tony Scandi and then Alcor. And if you think about it, all the dogs that started at Tony's kennel were then sold down to Alcor, Derek Matson. So that's why everybody knows and everybody has seen for years that Tony's old dogs and even Derek's new dogs always show those fucking rot bodies, those rot tendencies, and that's fucking why, folks. So
yeah, I mean Oh, sorry, Brad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're good.
Get hyped. But like we look at some of those dope dogs back then. Nugget dope, but Nugget looks like a whole ass Rottweiler. One of my favorite dogs out of old Alcor shit, El Toro. That dog was hard as fuck. The dog looks like a damn Rottweiler. The dog's coat resembles that of a Rottweiler. He started, wasn't Alcor back then, that was Zale and Nugget. That was his foundation shit.
Yep.
I mean, it all makes sense if you think about it and you go down the lines. I mean, in the American blood, there's Rottweiler. I mean, when you see old pictures of this Justice dog, like Justice looked dope. Justice
had a picture of Justice as an old dog. So this is Justice as an old dog.
Come on, dude. That dog is dope as shit. Like, looks rad.
Yeah.
But I feel like the blend and the quality of Rottweiler back then is very different than when you see guys crossing it in now, because a lot of these Rottweilers are like that Bulldog-esque Rottweiler, that French Mastiff type Rottweiler, where it looks like a Bulldog, but it's pointed. So you'll never throw the same phenotypes. I know when you look at a lot of the old world dogs, it looks like that old Rottweiler head type. Dogs like Ginger, dogs like, let's say Tessa a little bit. Like they all carry that sort of like rot trait in the head. Wolf, Lexi, like it's the Rottweiler blood is there, and that's just been bred onto itself and bred onto itself and bred onto itself. So a lot of those dogs come out looking like that, and we're racking our heads like they're so heavy neo based. Why don't they look like this? What is making up the other half of why these dogs look like this? It's like, no, it's all the Rottweiler blood. And then we started digging down Rottweilers, and lo and behold, the perfect blend.
You see, Nugget was like one of the biggest producing studs, and he made his way around quite a few kennels. Obviously Tony owned him first. Well, fucking Tony mass produced the Corso like nobody's business, and then that dog got sold to Derek. Derek mass produced the Corso like nobody's business. So you had the whole, like, you realize how many hundreds of thousands dogs that Tony and Derek pushed out there that were basically at that point, down line, they're probably anywhere from 50% to 3/4 Rottweiler blood. They're pushing them as courses to other breeders. They're crossing back, and not that it's a big deal. It's not like it's a big deal. I don't really give a fuck at the end of the day, but it's just that I don't even think Tony and Derek even knew. The only people that really knew this shit was Ed Hodis and Mike Jr. And it just fucks up how the dogs are supposed to get bred on the down low. Like Tony and Derek are probably breeding these dogs, like inbreeding and line breeding, and they don't realize that they just got 50-50, Roddy Corsos. So how can they breed correctly? And then they're going off of papers that they were given. The papers are wrong. So I think that's why 90% of the Corsos that stem off of Scandi's kennel, Alcor's kennel, are all kind of fucked to begin with.
Yeah. And we're talking their old blood. We're not talking their new blood because
No.
who knows what's in that new blood.
Right.
I mean, it is what it is. You know, it happens both sides of the pond. Our poison happened to be the Rottweiler, but it was Rottweiler bred to good Neo from Satilli.
Yeah.
You know, as far
Yeah.
as we know, so that kind of shows where all these traits come from. But I mean, what dog would you want to use? I mean, if you're crossing, okay, you have a Neo Pit, so essentially you have a Swinford. Like, what else would you cross? Like, dude, Rottweiler is kind of your next best badass dog that's being bred as pure as you're gonna get it to that point.
Right.
So it was
With
the best
phenomenal
base.
structure. If you want to
Yeah,
fix the structure on anything, you obviously cross Rottweiler in. It's a no brainer for most breeds. We all know that they have a shitload of Rottweiler and a lot of other breeds, but
yeah.
that shit usually doesn't get brought to light. But everybody's doing it. If you want to fix the rear on any kind of dog, you cross a fucking Rottweiler.
Toss that rot blood in there, and it's like, why would you toss a Rottweiler? Well, Neos are notorious for shit rear ends.
Yep.
What's your easy cross? Use some good Rottweiler. And I mean, if these guys were breeders of Rottweiler, they're using kind of the best stock that's around. It's not the kind of shit bred rot down the street that looks like a Labrador that's pointed. Yep. You know, they're using their good shit. So, say, you know, it is what it is. But I also feel, you know, Office Tilly wasn't only Rosario. You got to look at Valentine. You got to look at all those people who had their dogs back in the day. Like, they all bred Rottweilers. So they all put their Rottweilers back into the dogs. And you look at those old dog shows. Those dogs came whole ass pointed, blue pointed, brindle pointed. Just a complete different show than back in the day. But the quality of Neo was different, which showed the phenotype. And the quality of Rottweiler was different, which showed the phenotype.
Yep.
You know, like what video is that? The DQ colors where we ran down all those pictures. I mean, if you go back in that video, there's like enough pictures for you guys to stash in your little folders. Like all those dogs look like Neo Rottweiler hybrids. So, anything else, Dave? What else you got to say about that?
I'm trying to think if I had anything else. I think. Oh, I wanted to say. I guarantee you too. This is speculation at this point. This isn't a fact, but I guarantee that when Ed Hodis and Mikey went up there and got these 50-50 dogs, I guarantee maybe one or two of them probably made it back to their kennel as well. So I'm not going to completely blame them on selling them to Scandi as paper dogs, because I'm sure if there was a good enough one there, come on, who wouldn't step back and be like, oh fuck, this is the best dog of the group. Maybe I should throw papers on and take it back to my kennel too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You ever think of, because this is where I get that idea from. Ed only had certain colors in his kennel at one point, at least from what I'm told from Dave Bell when he was there in the early '90s. He had specific colors. Well, then the colors started kind of to change a little bit, started getting more different colors. Well, I wonder if that's not because he brought one of those Rosario dogs back home to play with.
I mean, straight up, if you saw a dope ass dog, half Corso, half Roddy, like, I mean, I think anybody would do that back then. And you're gonna get in the comments, you guys are mixing dogs, bro. We don't mix dogs. It's whatever. Think what you want. But I mean, if you're looking to improve your program back then, for sure they're doing it because they already know Rottweilers in the dogs.
And they probably Senior probably already told him, "Hey, these dogs are mixed. This is what I did."
Sure.
You know, if you want to,
sure.
Yeah.
Even look at all those old Malakia dogs. Come on now, that wasn't heavy. Like, I mean, I know that's bread on itself, but they kind of look like that rot blood was clicking up a little bit more.
Yeah, that rot and pit blood, because we were told multiple dog aggression dogs that was real heavy dog aggression. So that usually don't come from the Rottweiler. Yeah,
I mean, the more can we let out a little bit of DNA, no percentages, just like some traits and little tidbits that we're figuring out along the way. There's Pitbull in these dog boys. There's American Pitbull Terrier in these dogs. Anyway, you have it.
Terrier.
Yeah.
American Bulldog.
Yep. It is all there because what's a Pitbull dog at the end of the day? American Pitbull Terrier. It's essentially like a inbred ass band dog. Terrier type, Bulldog type. It is what it is. But I know David's noticed as well. These inbred pups act real different. They scream like pit pups. They scream like bulldogs. when they're on the chains, they jump like bulldogs. You go to like a Thompson's kennel or like a Southern Triple J channel, and you see how those dogs act on a chain. These dogs act the same way.
Yeah.
So
And guess what?
that's a
Just
trait from
to
that dog.
clarify too, like you put a Neo on a chain or a Rottweiler, it don't act like a Pitbull. So
No, no,
if you know dogs, if you've seen all three breeds, it's unmistakable when a dog moves, acts, and sounds like a pit bull. There's certain
yeah,
barks and certain sounds that are notorious for certain breeds, and
yeah,
we get those heavy pit traits shining through on these
yeah,
dogs. And
100%.
not to mention when you test some of these dogs, the dogs that are hitting higher percentage pit dog type traits in the geno are presenting that, physically. Like the dogs that are only hitting 5%, well, they're not showing too much pit traits, but the dogs that are hitting 10, 15, up to 17%, those dogs are going to act like damn near pit bulls.
Yeah, and you see it like David said. You see it manifest themselves, like the chest on the ground, the front end, like down like that. Just they act like pit bulls.
Mm-hmm.
Or we had
The intense eyes
yeah,
is also
yeah.
a dead giveaway.
It's crazy. Yeah, the dead set hard stare when they're barking because they want some that loud yelp. I had a I had one of those high percentage pit blood pups get out on another dog, and the way that pup, he went right under and went right for the chest of the other dog, and I was like, what the fuck? Like I've only seen that in bulldogs, in pit bulls. Just it's crazy. The manifestation of the traits of that dog comes out in the old world dogs when they test high for that percentage.
Yep.
So it's not all of them that test that high, but that certain breeding really brought that to light. Jay Diz says crazy eyes. Yeah, it's
For
some of
sure.
those pups. I mean, the guys
Look
who
like they're
know,
strung out.
yeah. And the intense eyes when they look at you, you're like, bro, what is wrong with this thing?
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is. But even the prey drive, why don't you get on the prey drive on some of those high pitch rate dogs?
Oh yeah. I mean, those dogs are just they're crazy. Anything you get out, anything that fucking even does a slight movement, it's like they're fucking on it. The prey drive is stupid, and then also just the overall energy level of the dog. Like the dogs that are testing more Neo, clearly they kind of just lay around more, don't really do much running, don't really have prey drive. They just kind of just lounge out. Obviously, if like a big mastiff is just going to lounge out. Those dogs that are testing heavy pit traits or heavy pit DNA, dude, they don't fucking sit still. They
Yeah.
tweak 24/7. I mean, I have this one bitch out there from the triple threat litter, Wolf. That bitch, I don't even think that bitch sits down or lays down or fucking closes her eyes or sleeps. I mean, that bitch is just tweaks 24/7, and
Yeah.
that's pit blood for sure.
Yeah. And it's the eyes too. When that dog looks at you, it's just like this dead glare, just locked on, locked on. I mean, even like to as far as I've turned on one of those dogs in his bite work, it's like even like the way that he bites, the intensity that he bites at, the not letting go.
Yeah, they're not letting
Jason's
go.
like they tweak out. You know, you know.
Yep.
If you know, you know.
The way they work a spring pole, you see how they hang on and they pull on that spring pole. That not many dogs work those items like a fucking pit bull does.
Even like the fight that they have when they bite on something, they'll fight for over 3 minutes on a bite.
Yep.
You're hitting the dog, and I'm not talking with the clatter sticks. You're giving the dog some pressure. They just don't break hold. It's that sort of like tenacity that you see out of bulldogs. So, I mean, I mess with it. I like it. Mm-hmm. We're going to keep breeding on that. We're going to try to produce the best prospects of working dogs for people who want to mess with these dogs in the future. I know there are a few guys who have them and they do the work with them, and no complaints there. So just trying to keep it going. Trying to Zach, Tesla will put a path on a concrete pad. That ain't wrong. Jay says 10 minutes on a spring pole. Wouldn't doubt it. They're just a little bit different. But yeah, those breeds are in the dog. There's no shame, no harm, no foul. It is what it is.
Nope.
And I think what do you want to touch on? Where do you want to go with this?
I don't know. Do you want to touch on some of the pit bull dogs that got put in, or some of the other people that might have reinfused them, or do you want to save that for for another time, or just you want to cover that all in one podcast? That way, it's out of the way.
I mean, I feel like it's not, as heavy as the rot stuff. So I feel like you could cover the pit stuff if you want to,
Yeah,
which is, I think it's like, be stoked. These are what's in your dogs, At least we're finding out and we're telling you this is what the American line is comprised of, and this is why we mess with it. It's essentially a refined band dog.
Yeah.
And that's what we use. Caden says re-infuse up above. I mean, I feel like can we touch a little bit on like maybe ideas we had if we were to do something moving forward with the American Corso? You want to open up on that, or do you want to hold that back a bit?
We could touch on some of it. I don't see why not.
I mean, in the future, like, so just as on where we stand is the American Corso is different than the Italian Cane Corso. Two different things, started with two different bases, bred differently. We are for the American style dog, and that is all we promote. That is all we push. That is what we like. So full disclosure on that. But I think in any way to better the type of dog with the American lines, I feel down the line after you bottleneck your shit, because I mean the old world stuff is fucking inbred to tits, and we're still gonna push it. We're gonna see where we're gonna go with this. About to go to infinity and beyond on this shit just to see how tight we could get it. But at one point, you will have to outcross. And it's like, do you outcross to another Corso bloodline, or do you outcross to one of the traditional outcrosses that was used initially? So I'm thinking if I'm doing a working program with these dogs and I bottleneck because my genes are too tight, would I not want to look for a working Rottweiler or a proven American Pitbull Terrier, depending on what route I'm going with these dogs? And that's just me being real. I don't give a shit. I don't sell dogs to the public. It is what it is. And then you breed that for 5 generations correctly, and then you toss that shit back in. Is that not a correct, honest way to go about it? That's how I feel, because what we're trying to do is purpose bred real fucking dogs. Pardon my language. And all the nonsense that people tell you with these dogs are pure, and we only breed this and that, and I test 100% for it. It's all garbage, dude. We have nothing to gain. Go on the internet, find where we sell pups or peddle pups. It doesn't happen. We're just trying to focus on the shit we have and the shit we're trying to work with. And we're trying to push these American line dogs because we think that they're badass. And they're proven out. We got boys with the dogs. The dogs are healthy. We genetic tested the dogs. The dogs come back fine. Diesel's old as shit and he's still kicking. He's born, bred on a farm. All these inbred dogs are turning out phenomenally. And, we're just going to keep going. We're going to keep going. So I think when you reach to that point of when you bottleneck with your genetics, what do you do? Do you go for the proven outcross that will bring this type of dog more longevity, or do you just like keep going with the bullshit story? So that's just where I'm at on that. And I talked to David about that a lot, because I'm like, inevitably it will happen. Like, we have a little bit of time, got a few years before we get to that, but I guess it's where we're at then. What do you got to say on that, David?
Yeah, I mean, I think, like, in our aspect, there's not too many guys out there, or there's very few, less than 2, that have that American blood almost 100% pure, on lockdown. So if we get to the point where our stuff's too inbred, especially us, well, I'm not going to fucking compromise my dogs and breed them to another line that is even more fucked up than the stuff that
Inferior.
we're starting with. Yeah, inferior. So why would I cross to an inferior line of Corso when, like Kareem said, you could go out and find these proven working dogs that are a way more suitable outcross and that are bringing in basically traits that are already within the dog. Why shouldn't you be allowed to do it? I want to, if we do start a registry or something in the future. I mean, we'll talk about this on another podcast in depth, but I want to allow breed out crosses to the traditional dogs, Neo Rot Pit, but then you can cross it in, but you have to bring it back to 3/4 pure before you can, technically register that or sell that or, keep track of that going forward. And I think it's going to do nothing but improve the dogs because you're going to have to use proven stock. The genes across the board, for the most part, genes are very similar in the American Pitbull Terrier, in the Rottweiler, in the Neo. For lack of a better word, like they're very, very similar with how they're bred and the traits and the genes that are in the dog. So you're not going to really muddy the water if you cross two different lines of rots because fucking rot's a rot. It's been a rot for thousands of years. Same with a Pitbull Terrier. So it makes perfect sense. It doesn't make sense to cross our line with a import line of Corso just because it's a Corso, even though it's got English Mastiff, Bull Mastiff, Dog de Bordeaux, fucking bull, like American Bulldog,
Boxer, Pressa.
yeah, boxer. Like, why would you keep muddying the gene pool when you could just do traditional dog out crosses that are already in there and just pull the 3/4 or the 7/8 rule and fucking be done with it.
And what does that take? Like 5 generations to bring it back to that? Bring it back to pure?
I think it's between 3 and 5. I'd have to look at the chart, but it would be something.
Let me hit this comment real quick. Jay Diz says, I'd stick to Corso. I get scared bringing in something completely different. Hard to find good American Pit Bull Terrier or Rotties anymore. I think you can still find what you want in Corsos, but hard to find. So let me hit that first, David, and then I think you probably have a reply to that as well.
Yeah.
So Jay Diz, they're dudes who still match those dogs. You could find guys with good lines of American Pit Bull Terrier, proven stock that do the deed. And as far as Rottweiler goes, I've met people who have dope American style Rottweilers that are titled in Schutzhund 3. So I mean those dogs are out there. I would always use if I were to do that, I would use proven working stock from those outcrosses. I wouldn't go to homie down the street who has check out my Staffordshire. He goes hard.
Yeah, check out my Timothy Rottweiler.
Yeah, I would 100% hit up the dudes who have that good shit, who still play that game, and I'd be like, hey, let me run this. That's personally what I would do if I were to reach that point and decide to go about the outcross route. And that's being honest. I could really care less about the flack that we get for this because people cross shit in all the time, but they just don't tell you. But it manifests itself in the dogs. I mean, one of these big kennels that we talked about earlier, damn near his biggest stud right now looks like a damn Pressa. Straight up. Straight up. And that's not me even tossing the shade. That's just me being honest. So, I mean, take it how you want to. John Catchin, hey, yo. Yo, Catchin's out here. Also, in a few months, we're going to have a dope little working vid ready for you guys. We've been planning this. There'll be some fire coming down with that.
Yeah.
Prepping.
So, I'm gonna hit that Jay Diz comment. I don't think you can find what you want in the Corso that's out there because if you already have an established line, or say in our case we have that established American line, there's no other established American line we can cross into or find what we want. So I'm not going to cross to a Italian or import line that has even if it looks like it has what I want, because unless they can show me a 5, 6, 7 generation pedigree that shows me inbred, line bred, and they have the dogs genetically tested, but I know what's behind it, I'm not gonna cross into that because it's just going to destroy the gene pool that I have, and I want the Neo Rot Pit. I don't want the Neo Rot Pit Bull Mastiff Boxer. I want to keep on the same traits that I have because I like how the dogs act that I have, and that are those 3 breeds. That's what I want. So obviously, like Cream said, not to repeat, but there's Pitbull Terriers. They are in excess of quality dogs out there. If you really get into the game dog world, there's tons of good game dogs out there. Rotties, there's not a ton of good Rotties, but if you know where to look and you know where the good ones are at, they're not really that hard to find. Not to mention, there's plenty of frozen semen on very quality German Rotts back in the day, as well as frozen semen on plenty of quality American Pitbull Terriers as well. So the access for those breeds, I'll tell you what, the access for those breeds is a lot higher for quality stock than there is for quality Corso stock. So that's really all you have to. That's all you really have to know about that.
Let me hit Caden's comment.
Yeah.
So he says Bull Terrier breeders have dogs that are documented 3/4 Bull Terrier and 1/4 American Pit Bull Terrier. We need an American Cane Corso registry that allows this to happen and not the shady shit. Caden, that's something that David and I are considering pretty seriously right now, and how to do it correctly. Honestly, getting all the old documents from other registries. So that's something that we're thinking about. And this isn't anything for financial gain. This is because we mess with the dogs, and we're very well aware of that line is fizzling out very quickly. And I think that all the flack that Mike Sr. got for what he did, it is what it is, but that dude bred amazing dogs. You can't say that that man was not a dog man among dog men. You got to give that dude his respect. And I think it's kind of shady that after dude passes away, everybody tosses all this crap on top of him, which is crazy. Which is crazy, man. You guys started with his dogs. You guys talked to this guy. You guys bought his stuff. You guys made money off of this. And then guy passes away and you guys just take a dump on him. That's messed up, bro.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
even like I don't talk to his son, but I know people who have very good contact with his son. And, you know, I can kind of see where dude's coming from. It's like, you know, maybe I may not agree with what he says on some of his things, but that dude knows his shit too, man. Like, so you guys can't be killing and shutting these guys down like that. They created a type of dog that is withstanding the test of time. So I'd say, yeah, that's just all I want to say on that.
Yeah.
Should we hit some comments?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm trying to find the. John asked me to throw up that picture of that Rottweiler he sent me. I'm going to see if I can get that on here.
Let's see. John says, look up Walter Pitts 1/3 Bull Terrier. Dope. Chronicles of a Mastiff. Wow. Am I asking stupid question not worthy of an answer? Relax, brother. We're just going through these comments.
Get your old lady's phone out of your ass.
No need to work yourself up, bro. We'll get there. Brothers, don't the Neo descent from the Mastiff? I think when it comes to realistic history of these dogs, there's a lot of fallacy and there's a lot of truth. I think Neos have Mastiff in them, and Mastiffs have Neo in them. That's like, what would you say about that, David?
Is he talking about Mastiff as in like English Mastiffs?
I'm assuming
is he
English
talking
Mastiff.
about Mastiffs? Is he talking about Mastiffs as just like molishers in general?
Okay, Chronicles of a Mastiff.
I need more clarification.
You're gonna have to clarify that, Chronicles. I'm not too sure what you're asking. Jay Diz says, had a bunch of Rotties in the 90s. Those were some solid dogs. Now so many Rottweilers have those effed up Romanian heads. I mean, I guess that's what the general public wants, right? They want a bulldog look on a pointed dog. So
well, not even that, Jay Diz. You're seeing a lot of those, you know, dogs that are just pushed out to the mainstream. It's kind of like the Neos or kind of like the Corsos. You just see what the mainstream people are pushing, because obviously that's going to be out in the front row. But you have to realize there's a ton of guys in the shadows, you know, still working with that old blood, working with quality dogs, Rottweilers, Neos, Corsos. You just have to look a little bit harder. They ain't going to be out there on the front lines.
Catchin says Pugweiler. You find that picture or what?
No, I don't know why I can't dig that up right now.
Oh, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, I think there's those quality dogs everywhere. I think a lot of theology on dog history is that of the person who wrote it. I think a lot of people, like we've been saying this, I don't know, how long has this pod even been going? Like over a year?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You saw it says fresh-faced young men. Now we're battle-worn from the comment section. um, yeah, I mean, like, I understand what like people wanting to believe, but I tend to just kind of go to what like the logical part of my brain will tell me. You know, a lot of people when they're on this descendants of ancient Roman war dogs, how do you turn a war dog into a farm dog?
Yeah, exactly.
Like that just doesn't make any sense. So, you know, I just try to know what my life experience has taken me so far. Comment section, you guys got any questions? Ask away. Chronicles of a Mastiff, we're waiting for your clarification on what you meant from where you asked if weren't the Neos descendants of the Mastiff. Don't the Neo descend from the Mastiff? Yeah, I don't know if you mean English Mastiff or if you meant the Molliser Mastiff type in general. I'm not too sure. So if you can clarify that for us, that'd be great. Yeah. So David, what you been up to, bro? What you been messing around with these dogs? What's new in your life while we wait on this comment section?
Not too much. Not too much. Just doing breedings, waiting to see if shit takes. Going about my
Yeah,
business.
I know you got that Instagrams and people are always hitting you up and some dogs have gotten tied and this summer some more dogs are about to get tied again, fingers crossed.
Yup,
So
yup.
who knows? Caden says Royal Diamond Rottweiler crossed the old world. I'm not familiar with that kennel, but
No, I'm not either.
we'll check that out. Yeah, I don't know how the Instagrams work. I don't know what you tell people in the public. I don't know how much information's out there with what breedings you're doing or whatever.
Oh no, no, I haven't I posted zero on the breedings because I don't post. I'm not these guys that they got to post the breedings because they got to get them deposits before those pups even hit the ground. Once the pups hit the ground, I make posts just to show that some shit went down. But yeah, I'm not out there just posting dogs fucking to get them deposits.
Yeah, I guess so. Have you ever disclosed what you got your hand? Okay, hold on. Let me. Chronicles of a Mastiff is back. Let me just read what this guy says. There's
Oh, I can't
no
wait.
okay, so quote unquote. I'm going off the comment section because I could tell that this is lengthy. So here we go. There's no such thing as an English Mastiff. The clarification is only Mastiff. Lay people say English Mastiff as a way to distinguish from all those other descendants from the Mastiff. Like, boy. All right, so
We have a historian nut job.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not going into the history of the dogs. All those dogs are mixed.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not even going down that route. No disrespect, brother, but
this man thinks God dropped down an English Mastiff and said, this is the start of the fucking Mastiffs."
yeah. So we're not gonna run down that and go anything. There's a episode on the Neo history that we did, and that's where we believe the Neos came into play and how they were bred. We're not gonna go down that way. So, yeah. Yeah, that's where we're at on that one. So I feel like the dogs, even like let's say if they went even that far back as to what's a descendant of what, those aren't relevant to the
No,
breedings that are happening today.
doesn't
They
mean
mean
shit.
they mean nothing.
Nothing.
So I think that's the only way I could tackle that question.
Yeah.
John Ketchen says nearby the master is now half English mask. The Mastiff is now half English mask. Confused as usual. Caden says emojis. King Royalty. The only real ones know what's going on behind the scenes. I guess so. I stay out here. That's it. That's it. Did you post what you got your hands on in terms of that male and female dog, or is that still under wraps?
The female dog, I had posted that. The male dog has been put out there, but has not been told what it is.
Okay, but you told what the female dog is.
I told what the female dog is. Correct.
You want to light a little flame under that, or what? You know, a little.
Yeah, sure. They gotta hurt my feelings.
Oh no, I'm not gonna say the DNA or anything. I'm just saying what's happening with that dog.
Yeah. So, got a friend of mine had a roughhouse dog out of Kratos and Shady that he had to get rid of because he was leaving the country, and he was going to take the dog to the pound if nobody wanted it, and I really didn't want it. So I didn't touch the dog for months and months. And then it came to the time where the guy he was going to leave the country in 2 days he's going to start living outside of the country. And he messaged me and said, "Hey, if you don't get this dog, it's going to the pound like in tomorrow." And I was like, I thought about it. And I'm like, well, fuck, I really don't want to see a dog go to the pound. It doesn't have to. It's a young female. Was only bred once. I'm like, it's a quality dog. So I'm like, fuck it. I said, I'll take it. So I ran down and got it. So now I have a roughhouse dog in my kennel. And it also just happened that the dog looked a hell of a lot better than I thought it was going to in person. It acted a hell of a lot.
Give the man some flowers. Give him some flowers.
Yeah.
Give him some flowers.
Yeah. So I didn't think the roughhouse dogs were what they were all cracked up to be. And then seeing one in person, and dog looks nice, dog acts nice. I was impressed with the dog. I'm not gonna lie. So brought her back, and then within 2 days of having her here, she came into heat, and I was like, well, I think the dog gods are telling me something. So so I ran that bitch to Moose. So now we're in the midst of waiting to see if we have a potential old roughhouse crossbreeding here.
Yeah. So I mean, if you guys know Moose, you know what that dog's about. And I mean, Jimmy shows out his dogs with that high prey drive. So, bro, if that takes, I don't even know. I don't even know what's coming out the pipe.
Yeah, but it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very interesting.
It's not from the pure base, like the pure shit, which doesn't get let out. So I mean, who knows? Who knows what David does with that? I don't know your partner with the cap on name, but he's clearly all right. So,
dude, clearly, come on. How long have you been following this channel? You don't know that I'm disrespectful by now? That's known in the scene.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is what it is. Difference of opinions. Let's just leave it alone. Let's not argue in the comment section because ain't nobody got time for that shit. Jay Diz, we don't even have the Mastiff dogs the Spanish had when they came in the Americas, much less an ancient Roman dog from 1,000 years earlier. I mean, that's straight up facts.
Exactly.
I'm dying, clearly. I don't know, man. There's a lot of... What I realize, it's like usually like the Facebook groups where it's like everybody delves into the history of dogs, and I mean it's cool. It's like you want it, like yo, if this was actually real, this would be so crazy. But I don't think that is the reality of things this far down the line. These dogs are not what history says they are.
Not to mention that just for my buddy Chronicles of a Mastiff here. It's not known that the Mastiffs almost died out completely during the war and were basically completely reconstructed using other breeds. So, what are we really saying?
Yeah. I mean, that's true. Like, you got to think these large dogs. Think about that, like the disparity, fucking the poverty back then. How are you feeding a dog like that? We're living in a good day and age. How are we feeding dogs like this? It's crazy.
Yeah.
It costs money, right? So, like, what's more important, your survival or the dog's survival? Probably your survival, right?
Yeah.
King might be creating crackheads with that pairing, Dave. Bro, you said these guys would wild out over a roughhouse moose pairing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you know, you know, but we've all seen Moose do some things.
Yeah.
No shots fired, but I bet if you put Moose in a sugar canes, you might see a dead pig. Just saying. No shots fired, but just shots fired. Not like in the most nice way possible. Just like some friendly banter. Nothing to get your all wound up about. But yeah, I think like I said, in a few months we got to go do some dog transfers, and you guys are gonna get a good little working video out of this one. And I think think we're gonna let go of some of our secrets of what we do with these dogs. So hopefully you guys clue in. Absolutely, Toby Jackson, one of the foundational people that brought the Mastiff back to what's currently walking on the planet. Didn't that guy cross Saint Bernard into his Mastiff?
Saint Bernard, Great Dane, probably a few other things. Not that matters. Fucking everybody's crossed stuff in. It's how you improve dogs. But just know that that's what happened, and it's not this ancient fucking dog. Just like the Neos that were back in the 60s and 70s had a fuck ton of Great Dane in them as well. All these dogs have gotten infused with other breeds. It's just deal with it. But the thing that we're trying to do with the damn courses, I'm probably repeating myself for the 1,000th fucking time, is like we're trying to break it down to you guys, so when you have a heavily bred Scandi or Alcor dog, you know that, hey, I got a lot of rot here. If I want to change this phenotype, probably got to breed it to a Mastino type dog. Or if I got a dog here that is showing a lot of pit traits, I gotta breed it to this to change it. We're just trying to help you understand what's transpired down the line, help you try to understand how to breed your dogs. We don't really give a fuck what happened. It is what it is. Like everybody said, past is the past. It doesn't really change what happens, but we can improve some shit moving forward.
Yeah, agreed. So everybody on the same page? Cool.
Yeah.
Everybody's mellow. But yeah, man. I feel that makes sense. I feel this is how we go forward with the American Corso. I know like a lot of import guys aren't on it. To be honest, we don't even really care for the name. We don't care for the name Cane Corso, but on paper that's what the dogs are, so that's why we call them as such.
Yeah,
But
until
we are
you change
well
it.
aware. Yeah, we are well aware that they are different, and we are trying to just push those different type dogs because we believe that they are superior in what they do. I'm gonna let go some petty information right now. All you Italians with your mezzo corsos, wait to see what I do, boy. I'll get y'all real mad. I'll get y'all real mad real soon. Yeah, wait. Just
Yeah,
get them all
that'll be
mad.
good.
Those who don't know the past are doomed to repeat it. Chronicles, I sense your passion, bro, but you can't repeat the past because the damage has been done to where you will never get back to that pure base of dog. That is null and void at this point. Brothers, that is why if with you because you state truths. I'm so confused. But yeah, we're just trying to do right by these dogs. That's where we're at. Trying to do right by these dogs. Anything else, David? This is like pretty mellow pod, bro. The vibes are good.
Pretty mellow.
Yeah, vibes are good. So there's
I'm just gonna
Rottweiler on
throw
the dogs from the Poconos from
yeah,
Rosario.
yeah, for that first, and then I'm gonna touch on it quick, just because I don't want to have to fucking go into it down the line. I want it to be in one video so people can look at it and get the gist. But so there was Pitbull and American Bulldog influence after the original Satilli dogs, and that came in the form of Kathy Satilli, Masterpiece Kennel, as well as she partnered with Nancy Wilson. But so Kathy borrowed this big black American Pitbull Terrier bulldog
American
kind of
Bulldog type.
American Bulldog type dog. Big ass dog. He was like over
Catch dog.
over
Call it big
60
catch
pounds.
dog.
Yeah, big catch dog.
Yeah.
She borrowed that from Junior to cross into some of the Satilli dogs that she had gotten from Senior when they split. So that is what came down the line as far as the Bubba dog. The Bubba dog, Masterpiece is Bubba.
Bubba.
That dog was half American Pitbull Terrier catch dog crossed to a Corso from the Satilli line. So that's where that separate infusion came down the line, as well as her other dogs. She had
Bean saying that.
Yeah.
Bean saying that Bubba dog.
You can look at the dog and clearly see that if you have any sort of eye. And then also Kathy had these big American Bulldogs, which were basically, from what I'm told, are just bull mastiffs crossed to like some Red Mar type, Land of Giants type pit bulls, which is obviously we know American Bulldogs are just a mixed dog as well, and she influenced them into the Corso as well. So that's why when you see those Masterpiece dogs on the database, or if you have Masterpiece dogs in your kennel, there's no previous generations, there's no pedigree kept on those dogs because they are freshly mixed. And let me just go back. This all links together because guess what their foundation of certain kennels were. Scandy's foundation of his dogs were the Masterpiece fresh infused pit bulldog dogs, as well as the Rosario fresh Rottweiler cross dogs. So he started his whole entire kennel off fucking really freshly made mutts, not even the not even the refined mutts that Satilli was pushing, and then that all transpired down the line to Alcor as well, because Alcor bought dogs from Kathy, Scandy bought dogs from Kathy. The whole Scandy Alcor line is one of the most fucking muddied lines that there are, because they all have that. They all use that fresh infused dogs back into their blood. So I want to get that out there so people understand when you see those masterpiece dogs as well as those original Scandy dogs, they're another fresh infusion of other blood was put into those dogs.
Yeah, I mean that is what it is. But like I said, I feel like those were the guys who were capitalizing on the breeding of those dogs for monetary gain. I think that's what their their MO was off the bat. When you look at Bubba, you can tell Bubba's friggin' part American Bulldog. Remember when we were going down, we're like, where do you get that brindle from? Why is there so much white? Why is his head shaped like that? I was like, American Bulldog cross all day.
I can bring up a picture of that while you're talking.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why Bubba looks like that. So, now you know. Like I say, these are just this is our research that we find on these dogs, and we mess around. We talk to a few of you guys regularly, and we're just talking dogs. I'm not here to hurt feelings. We're just kind of telling our truths, what we find out. So it's up to you to do what you want with this. We had Jay Diz before. No, Caden. I'm gonna hit Caden before. He said, "Can you all talk more in depth with what dogs would be called if you were to open a new registry?" I think maybe in a couple weeks when we're both not so busy, we'll do a little pod on that. But I think should we tell him the name right now, David, or hold on to it? We're gonna hold it or let it go.
Well, we can let it go. You can
let it go.
It really don't matter. I mean, we're gonna do a podcast that goes in depth on what we want to do if we start a registry. But yeah, you can tell them the fucking name. It ain't gonna hurt my feelings. And if they steal it, I'm just gonna have to kick their ass. One of the two.
Yeah, yeah. I think we're just gonna call them American Corso because that's what they are. They're American type of the Cane Corso. So that's all it is.
Yeah. So we're gonna drop that Cane part because that Cane part is fucking the Italian slang bullshit. We're putting American in front of it. So it's just American Corso. It's the American rendition of the motherfucking Corso. And then here's a picture of Buddy.
Bro, look at the head, son.
Yeah, that big round ass skull. And then
yeah, he's still dope though, bro. I still fuck with that. Yeah, he's still dope as fuck.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Let me hit up Jay Diz. There's a video on YouTube of some Italian village in 2006 showing off their Corsos, and their dogs were all over the place. Poor Italians just trying to sell dogs to the USA. 100%. Why not peddle to dumb Americans?
Sister. This is a sister to Bubba.
Oh, bro, all day. All day. American Bulldog. Like, come on, son. Chronicles of a Mastiff. We should be able to have discussions without being disrespectful. It's, I believe, hurting you guys because once you disrespect your audience, the folks who are seeking the truth get turned off. So I'm going to hit this one real quick.
Oh, my God. Please.
Honestly, Chronicles, this is like, happens all the time. Nothing new. I think when we're running these pods, we're not trying to debate with people. We're just trying to get the information. It is what it is. So, Jay Diz, American Corso. Yeah, it's American Corso. Like, I don't know. Clean, simple, easy.
Yeah. Very.
And I feel like maybe a few years down the line, we put like the American Corso's working prospects up against the import Corso's working prospects.
Yeah.
We have a little showdown. A little showdown. That'd be fun. But we're 55 minutes in. How do you feel about this, David?
Pretty good. I think we covered some good shit. Gave people some stuff to digest and go dig up their own intel on. But
yeah,
I like it so far.
Yeah, that's what I think. So I think moving forward, I think we're probably going to close out pretty soon. Couple weeks, we'll probably do a little pod on how we foresee this registry going, how we would like to go about things, how your dog in our mind would qualify as an American line. Um, and what we would allow to help the type of dog move forward to get to the end goal, because at the end of the day we mess with the American lines. Like, I remember when I started deep diving hard, I saw the American dogs. I was like, this is it, these dogs are rad. I didn't even care that much until I started talking to David, and then the whole thing, you could hear in his interview how he kind of stumbled across some stuff, and we're like, think when something like that falls into your hand, it's like either your responsibility to help preserve it or to
Piss it away.
kind of piss it away. And we just realized the hand that we had been blessed with is to preserve these dogs and to take it in a direction where I think it will turn out to be something special. And all the breeding so far, all the things that have been produced thus far, and trust me, some shit's being scrapped, called, tossed to the side, but where we're at now, something special is happening. Mark my words. Mark my words. These breedings, that if this breeding happens in September that we want to do, I think it's going to be the craziest thing to drop on American soil since the 90s. I promise that. And I think what we will pull out of that litter, if it happens, will be something very, very, very special.
For sure.
We're starting to let more info about the triple threat go as they mature. They're about, what, 10 months now?
Yeah.
We're gonna do a little dog swap in some few months. We're gonna let go some working footage of those dogs, and yeah, all you guys who are along for the ride, dope. We made some cool friends along the way, so thanks for supporting and always checking in and being good vibes. And to the haters, I mean, if you're not getting hate, you ain't doing shit. That's how I look at it. Yeah, so I guess we ended off like that. Or let me hit Chronicles before I leave, bro. Let me hit Chronicles. This man is into the dogs. Says, brother, I love the facts you state. I know truth when I hear it. I reference you guys all the time when talking about Corso people, and I was shocked by their reaction to you guys. Yeah, I mean, thanks for stating that. It's the truth. But Chronicles, all we do is tell the truth. And a lot of people may not like us or do not receive us well, but nobody fakes anything. This is just our personalities, and this is how we act. We make no money off of it. We don't care about it. We're just sharing our findings with the public. Let me just hit the second one because it is what it is. However, based on Dave's first comment to me, I understand now. I am born and raised in South Bronx, and I know what his disrespectful comment hides. I don't know what you guys are trying to do, and I just got to state this for all you people who try to like get on this race bullshit or whatever. David is probably my best friend, so like that shit is not anything for some guys who try to play that game. So like just drop it. It is what it is. Like, people, we're on a platform. We talk shit. It is what it is.
Yeah,
We're just here talking dogs.
Like, come on, everybody knows it's just talking shit. You got to throw in some banter there to just get get everybody crack a couple jokes here and there. It's nothing fucking serious. Obviously we know for a fact, if I ran to the street and we're talking dogs, I'm not gonna talk just bare shit to your face. It's fucking the internet, dude. This is what the internet does. Like, chill. We're all good, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I maybe my bad, Chronicles. I don't understand what the comment means. Like, I'm kind of, you got to tell me straight what you're saying because I don't get it. So when you say disrespectful comment hides, it's just a lot of people who think that statement that I said before. But it is what it is, bro. No shade. We're just talking shit. We're with the boys talking dogs, talking shit.
Yeah, that's and all not to mention, Chronicles, you're 63. That's cool. I'm in my 20s. I think everybody's a little disrespectful in their 20s. Can we be fucking honest about that? Come on. Maybe I'll humble up in a little bit, but right now it might be a little bit of a disrespectful prick. I'm sorry. I can't. I mean,
like, to be honest, Dave's a knuckle dragger. Like,
if we're
being real, this man drags his knuckles when he walks. Like, this man is probably 62% Neanderthal. Like, if we're being straight, it is what it is. What is it? Johnny Malarkey. I just picked up a Belgian Malinois puppy.
Good luck.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on. I thought I had a good shade comment. Like,
oh, shit.
It's like, who's crossing Malinois into their dog? I was about to drop that. You think people do that though? I bet you somebody's crossed Mally into the dogs.
Yeah,
For
I just
sure.
saw. I just saw the other day. It was like on some forum. It was a dog that was like Dutch Shepherd, Malinois, some other high energy Shepherd dog, and then a Corso.
Let me be straight up though. If you crossed a Dutchie into a Corso, you could probably pass that off as a Corso because of the brindle size and head type.
Yeah, yeah.
And you would get like some stupid working ability. Yo, props Chronicles, that's cool. I desire you brothers to be heard all over the world because you're speaking truth. That's cool, man. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we'll tighten up. We'll tighten up on the disrespectful comments. Just gotta get a little bit older. I need.
But to be,
I'm gonna. My birthday's in May. Maybe once I
yeah.
go one more year, maybe I'll straighten up a little bit better.
Each year, the knuckles get off the ground by an inch. Soon he'll be walking at proper posture. He'll be a human soon. But right now, times are tough with that boy. What else was this day? Keaton working dogs for what purpose, bro? I don't know. To show that you have high drive working Corsos. That's what I would think. That somebody be like, "Yo, my dogs are so dope. Look at their like defense or prey drive," and the dog's fucking half Dutchy. Because you would get a double coat. You'd get a double coat from the Shepherd. You'd get the brindle from the Shepherd.
I've seen a couple like German Shepherd Corso crosses and stuff. I mean, if your dog is enough high percentage Neo, you can almost cross it to anything and get a damn decent looking Corso-esque type fucking dog.
Yeah. But I wouldn't fuck with it. I'd go right to Pitbull Terrier all day. Bro, I'm telling, like, some of those Pitbull Terrier, like, I send in David some kennels, and it's like, dude, those dogs they go hard. They're so sick.
Mm-hmm.
It's walking a thin line when you start getting into those dogs. I don't know, bro. I might while out with it.
Appreciate it. Me and Chronicles is cool now.
Yeah. That's what I was saying, bro. It's all love up in here. I feel like all those weird people who used to show up earlier days, like they're gone now. Low key, they're probably still sitting in the chat. Low key, these dudes probably still in there just like following. But I don't know, man. Try to keep it all love now. Just talk the dogs. Any KNPV line dog has game pit in them. I've heard that. Johnny Malarkey comes on an American Corso channel and says, Corsos are beautiful, but really unpredictable. So are those Malinois that bite kids all the time that are all over the news. So let's not do a little breed debate up in here because Corsos all day, baby. Corsos all day. American lad, baby. Don't worry about it, dog. Wrong place for that. Anyways, hour 4 minutes. What are you saying? We kill it? We cut it?
We kill it. Yeah.
Good pod. Good pod, bro.
I think it was good. Yeah.
All right, guys. So next one, registry. We're planning to do that. Planning to drop a little like as well as two idiots could film a video working dogs. We will try to do that. Yep. No promises on the quality. Some of these guys have film crews and equipment and stuff. We got a cell phone.
Yep.
We got cell phone on a stick. I mean, that's as far as we're getting. Yo, Serdell. Bro, when was the last time we seen Serdell? Serdell, what up, bro? What up, man? 22 years, never mixed my Cane Corso with anything but Corso. Same dog, some dog are hot. Yo, bro, that's dope. That's dope. That's good shit. Props to you. But yeah, we're gonna call it, so we're gonna say there's gonna be some cool stuff coming down the pipe soon. So, like I say, thanks for the support. Thanks for the vibes. All you need is an iPhone these days. Android, motherfucker. Anyway,
Kareem still has a flip phone Nokia.
I don't understand why y'all gotta talk so much shit to me, bro. I'm a simple man. I don't need too much. Give me some dogs. Give me some food. I'm chilling. But yeah, till we meet again, bros. We're out. All right, peace.